Hey, what's up, warriors? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. Doing a little impromptu video today. I just got inspired and I wanted to get this out of my head. And I may not have time to edit this video the same way I do my others, so please bear with me. But if this is your first time in the channel, this is an anti-narcissist community, and we talk about toxic relationships, psychopaths, and narcissists here. Someone brought to my attention a situation, how quickly their narcissist ex flipped the script on them the moment they, the victim, started showing more interest, more investment, more attachment. And it's I wanted to make this video because if we put narcissist personality disorder down, if we put down the idea of psychopaths and toxic people and borderlines and all that stuff, and we just look at this situation as two people that started dating and observe that dynamic, you're going to notice a familiar pattern, and you're going to notice the origins of a toxic relationship, whether or not those people were toxic to begin with. So let me explain. You start dating someone, and this person has an idea of what they want in a relationship or what they want in a partner. So let's say that this person is looking for, let's say it's a woman. She's dating a man. This woman wants a man that's going to be chivalrous, a gentleman all the time, pulling out the chair, holding the door open for her, taking her out to nice restaurants, picking up the tab, picking up the bill all the time, getting her flowers all the time, pretty much planning this romantic, movie-like relationship, only in the movies. And the person she's dating doesn't fit those needs. Okay? So she has two options. She can either we're not a good fit for each other. Let me stop dating this guy because I have other options. There's other people in the pool. This guy clearly doesn't fit the standard of a man that I'm looking for. And that's it. There's no emotional attachment yet. You haven't been dating for a long time. You notice those things right at the beginning with just a few weeks of dating. Sometimes just on the first date, you can tell if someone has things in common with you or not. So why do things get toxic? Well, it gets toxic when, rather than cutting the relationship, this woman starts putting demands and expectations on the man to make changes, to become chivalrous, to pretty much change his entire persona. Maybe he can't even afford to take her out to 5-star fancy restaurants. So if you're looking for a man that makes $300,000 a year and the man you meet is working a minimum wage job, then why are you wasting your time and his? He's not going to just become an entrepreneur overnight. He's not just going to become the man of your dreams overnight. Instead, you're idealizing the situation. And when I mean you, I'm talking about them, obviously, not you, the viewer, but just bear with me here. They start to idealize a better version of that man, and it's never going to happen. So then there's resentment. Now, there's resentment that they've created for themselves for holding on to this illusion, for this idea that maybe I can mold this person to the man that I want him to become. And the same thing goes when a man meets a woman. And it's like, I like to give this example. If you like a girl with long hair and you don't like girls with short hair, as superficial as that may sound, if that's just your thing, and the girl you're dating likes to shave her head every few weeks, you can't get mad at her. You can't expect that she's just going to grow her hair for you when she loves having short hair. You can't put that pressure or that demand on her. It's not a good fit. If you want to date someone that likes you for you, if you're looking for human connection, then all these superficial things need to come secondary. The first thing you're looking for is human connection. If there's human connection, if there's a genuine vibe and chemistry, and you're laughing and you're having a good time together, those other things should not be a determining factor on whether or not the relationship means something to you or not. But again, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just some fun, some casual thing, then maybe some other things don't matter. If you're looking to build something, again, you got to look at what exactly are you trying to build. Then you really have to start asking questions and be honest with yourself. Really be honest with yourself. Is this the type of person that has the traits, that has the means, that has the ambition of what I'm looking for long term? Because if they don't, if at the beginning of that relationship you're seeing red flags, like we talk about in the other videos in this community, if at the beginning you're seeing things that clearly are unacceptable to you, then you're wasting your time and the other person's right off the bat. It's not a good fit. And you need to be able to admit to that and cut it before it turns into something. Because let me tell you, once emotions come into play, all logic goes out the window. And I notice the problem in a lot of new relationships nowadays is that things start out backwards. People are sleeping with each other on the first date without even knowing each other. And back in the old day, that was like the last thing that would happen. There was a slow progression towards intimacy like that. There was a slow progression. Now it's like instant gratification. You get that right off the bat. And the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, you're not who I thought you were, but I already slept with you, so now there's a bond. And now you want to do what you did last night again and again and again. So the brain is excreting, is that a word? Excretion. The brain is releasing a chemical every time, y'all do the nasty, right? And you're getting more and more bonded to this person. That's not a good fit in your life. It's not a good fit for your future. It's not a good fit for whatever it is that you're looking for. And that's okay. That's why there's 7.5 billion people in the world. Not everybody you meet is going to be a good fit with you. That's why you date, to find people that are a good fit. Now let's bring in narcissist personality disorder into the equation. Because you can see things are already getting toxic. Even without that, things will get toxic if you continue dating someone and sleeping with someone that clearly doesn't fit your standards, clearly doesn't fit what you're looking for in a long-term relationship. And once the emotions are there and you're locked in with that emotional attachment, that emotional bond is very difficult to break. So what you do in order to keep those chemicals flourishing, right? In order to keep that feel-good dopamine, in order to maintain that person in your life that makes you feel good, you start compromising yourself, you start compromising your boundaries. They start walking all over your boundaries. Maybe they start compromising their own boundaries. Like, who's the bad guy here? I don't know. But this is how things get toxic. When you don't have boundaries at the beginning of a dating situation and you put up with things that you know go against your morals, you're setting yourself up for disaster. That's why having boundaries is very important. That's why you need to really have those difficult conversations. You need to know off the bat, hey, are you looking for marriage? Oh, you don't believe in marriage. Why not? Okay, well, I do. So we're not a good fit right off the bat. If you want to get married and the person you're dating doesn't believe in marriage, then that's not going to work, is it? Could there be compromise? Maybe they don't believe in a legal marriage, but they're willing to have a wedding and a traditional ceremony, just not have the legal documents that come with it. Cool. Then maybe you can work with that. But if you're looking for a legal, traditional marriage and the other person is against that, then you're wasting your time. You need to cut that right away. Do you want children? No, I don't want kids. Oh, well, I want kids. And I'm pushing 30, biological clock. I'm looking for a man to give me kids within the next year or two. Okay, that's a red flag. That means this person is looking for kids and is just looking for a contender that meets a certain criteria that's going to give them children, but they are not really looking for human connection. They're looking for kids. They just want to meet the biological clock goal and have kids. Chances are when they have their kids, that situation is going to fall apart quick. Divorce and single mom, single dad life. But there are people that they're both reaching that age and they both want kids and they're willing to do whatever it takes just to have kids in their life. And maybe they're willing to work through a dysfunctional marriage. Maybe it actually works out in rare cases. But if that's what two people want, that's the thing. If two people want that, who am I or who are you to say that it's dysfunctional? If two people are looking for that and they meet the person that fills that void, that gives them exactly what they want, and they give the other person exactly what they want, then it works, right? Maybe for us it looks dysfunctional, but it's functioning because that's exactly what they wanted, and they both got what they wanted. So then it's cool. But if that's not what you're looking for, and you hang around, and you're getting attached through all the things that you guys do, all the time you spend together, doing yourself and the other person a disservice. Believe it or not, in this day and age, you got to talk about politics. I hate politics, but if you guys disagree on politics, like strongly, like if you both have a strong, firm belief in politics and the other person is completely against your views and you're against theirs, that's going to be a problem. Can't you see how long-term that's going to be a problem when you're standing up for something and you want your partner to have your back and they are completely opposing you? That's a problem. Because then you go to bed and you're like, wow, you're my enemy. Because yes, people take politics that seriously. It's a problem. Religion, another taboo, right? If you have polarizing religious views, that's a problem. These are not petty issues, guys. This is real. People break up over these things. Intimacy is another one. How important is intimacy? How often do you want to do it? How much do you need it? Do you base the quality of your relationship? Do you gauge how much someone loves you based on how much sex they give you? If you do, and the other person doesn't value it as much, and they're okay just once a month and you need it every day, that's a problem. How's your chemistry? How's your chemistry during those weeks of courtship or months of courtship? How's the chemistry? The chemistry is not there. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be tempted to cheat. And then the other person, if they're a narcissist, they'll blame you. Oh, I cheated because of you. It's your fault. Nah. But regardless, it's kind of like setting yourself up for a possibility of disaster. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, on the other hand, let's take everything I just said. When you're dealing with a narcissist, this gets magnified. This gets magnified now. And they can use a lot of these things against you when it's no longer convenient. Okay? And they'll keep you around for whatever supply it is that they're looking for. And when it's time to cut it, when they find someone else that fits that standard that they knew at the beginning didn't fit, when they meet someone that fits that standard, two things will happen. Either A, they'll discard and ghost you and you're dead to them, and then you're left with all the trauma, right, that we experience here. Or they'll live a double life, and they'll have you and they'll have them. That will also give you anxiety. Your gut knows something's uncanny about them, something's wrong. You'll feel it. But you'll be so emotionally dependent and so emotionally attached to those feelings, to how things were at the beginning during the initial courtship, that you won't have the strength to let them go. You won't have the strength to cut it at this point. Meanwhile, the narcissist is having the best of both worlds, right? Living a double life. And when they're ready to discard you, they will, without hesitation. And all of this could have been avoided. And I know it's easier said than done now. When you come out on the other side of this and you look back and your vision's 2020, you can look back and you can be like, well, damn, that's right. This person and I had opposing views in almost everything. This person's lifestyle didn't complement my lifestyle. The only way that would have worked would have been for me to take them out of their situation and make them dependent on me. And who wants to be in a relationship where you're dependent on the other person for having a good life? A narcissist, they don't care. They want a meal ticket. But a non-narcissist, a good human being, they probably want to feel good about themselves. They probably want to feel like they contribute 50%, 50-50 into the relationship. And although it's never 50-50, when I say 50-50, it feels 50-50 because you're both contributing the best that you can. You're both bringing to the table the best that you can bring to the table without keeping score. Without keeping score. But the narcissist is always taking tabs or keeping tabs. They're always paying attention to what have you done for me lately. It's all about me, 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 me. They're takers, they're not givers. But they can confuse us because some of them do bring some cool things to the table. My psychopath ex taught me how to speak Japanese, taught me how to write in Japanese, which was really, really cool. She did teach me a lot of things. We did have some really, really interesting deep talks. We had a lot of things in common. A lot of things in common. But I ignored the red flags. It's not just all the things in common that you have. It's not about having all your values lined up, because a narcissist is very good at being a chameleon, and they're very good at mirroring you and learning all about you and then telling you what you want to hear. But remember, actions speak louder than words. Actions always speak louder than words. And the red flags were there. And we've talked about this before. The red flags were there. There were things that were uncanny. There were some things that just didn't make sense. There were some things they did or said that it's like, wait a second. Wait a second. If you really cared about me like you say you do, if you really loved me, like, why are you behaving this way? Why are you entertaining another player in the game? When they tell you these things that clearly make no sense and you question them on them, and they just throw a tantrum and they don't want to answer the questions that clearly make no sense, that you pretty much just caught them. See, those are the red flags right there. That's when that's when you really have to cut that. But if you're emotionally attached, if you ignored all those red flags at the beginning and you invested more time Now you have that emotional bondage, that trauma bond. Now it's harder. At this point, it's harder to get out of that situation. So I tell people all the time, do things when they're easy. Cut the relationship off when it's easy. When it's easy. Don't wait until it gets hard, because as you guys know, it's hard to cut that. Once you have all this time invested, you're trauma bonded to them, you have all these memories, they're cheating on you blatantly, and you still can't live without them. They're cheating on you, and you still want to give them another chance. Now it's hard to cut that. And if your mind, if your thoughts, if your emotions weren't compromised, then you'd be able to look at that for exactly what it is and be like, oh, hold on a second. This is a deal breaker. Bye-bye. But you can't, because you've been dealing with a toxic person. You have brain fog now. They've been manipulating you. They've taken control of your thoughts. They've gaslighted you where you don't know, you don't trust your own reality. You look at the narcissist to tell you what's right or wrong at this point. You're under their spell. You're under their control. But at the beginning, remember at the beginning, before you met them and you were clear, you saw everything crystal clear. You saw it. And a lot of times, we put our foot down at the beginning. We put our foot down. And they move mountains to fix things, right? They move mountains. And then the minute we become vulnerable and we start showing investment in them, then they quickly flip. They'll have that RAS flip where all of a sudden there's nothing that you can do that's good enough. And when they pretend to care, when they pretend that, like for example, if they hurt you and you caught them, and you're crying and you're going through anxiety and you're having all sorts of panic attacks and you're falling apart, your mental health is in decline. And they sit there and they tell you, oh, hurting you hurts me. I didn't mean to do that. It wasn't my intention. If any of that was real, and why did they continue sleeping with the other person the very next day? Why did they continue that affair? Why didn't they stop it and be like, holy crap, I just hurt the person that I really care for because I was an idiot and I decided to be an infidel because yes, it was a decision. Let me try and fix it. Let me make living amends to this person and never do that again. Like, they don't even deserve a second chance, but if they really cared about you, they would definitely try and make sure they do everything right from now on. But they don't. They keep sleeping around, they keep lying, they keep gaslighting you. The uncanniness doesn't go away. If anything, things get worse. So just remember, as you start coming out of this, and you start healing from this type of toxicity, and you go back into the dating game, and I say it's a game because it's a game now. It's disgusting. But you go back out, you become open to dating new people again. Do not be afraid to cut the date short, or to tell the other person, hey, it was nice meeting you, you're a great person, but it just doesn't work for me. Just be polite about it and end it before it ends you. That's all I have for today. I hope you got some value out of this. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you can get notified when I drop new videos. I try to record a video every day. It gets a little challenging, but I'm doing my best. Also, I appreciate all the stories and the encouragement and the comments. Please continue doing that and share these videos with whoever you feel needs a little wake-up call. And as usual, if you'd like to work directly with me, if you'd like some private one-on-one coaching, to help get you out of this toxic entanglement, just go ahead and click the link below on my website, or shoot me an email at info@psychopathexposure.com and I'll give you more details on how we can do that. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.